Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Laura Wakefield, and I'm a volunteer with Missouri Disability Empowerment. And I'm going to walk you through a quick tutorial on how to give testimony in a hearing in the Missouri Legislature. So, in this example, we're going to listen to a recording of House Bill 1540 from Recording IEPs and 504s. This was recorded January 16th, 2020. So what you're going to see is usually the sponsor of the bill will go first, and they will introduce themselves, and they will give a quick summary of the bill, and then the members of the Education Committee who are seated here may ask some questions. Behind the sponsor and the podium there's a lot of seating back here, and that's where all of the witnesses are sitting. Just be aware that sometimes it can be standing room only, and if you don't have a seat, that you can wait out in the hallway and kind of check in through the glass doors to see when you can come in and find a spot to sit down. So let's get started, and we're going to hear a quick introduction of the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Second here. I have House Bill 1540, by the way, Chuck Basie from District 47, and House Bill 1540 is essentially a bill that was I was made aware of after our session ended about special needs children and their parents when they go into an IEP meeting or a Section 504 meeting. They would like the ability to record these proceedings, and right now it is legal in Missouri, one party consent state to record, but all school districts in the state do not allow that.
Okay, so he will then give a few more facts, and then the committee is going to ask him some questions, and then they will ask for any witnesses and support to come forward. And I'm going to fast forward this up to a witness who I think does a great job of her testimony and her strategy, and you'll kind of see what she does is she introduces herself, gives some background about herself, and then strongly states that she's in support of, and then gives her 3 or 4 reasons why, and then gives her final summary.
Others to testify in support of. Come on down. Good morning. Thank you, members of the committee. My name is Victoria Rollins. I am a former special education teacher and administrator. I now am a consultant, and I work with families and school districts both in the areas of Section 504 and special education. So, given my history, I did a lot of soul searching whenever all of this came up. I am in support of being able to record these meetings. I know from experience on both sides of the table, the discussions that go on are highly technical. They include everything from education to social emotional behavior and many other things that just you cannot possibly remember afterwards. Speaking as a former teacher, there's been many times I finished up a meeting, gone back to finish and write up the IEP and make changes to it, and I looked at my notes and I really wasn't positive that I got it right. That's the honest truth. So I would call a parent, or I would call and I would ask, wait, what did we say about that? Did we go ahead and put that in there? It's honest mistakes. As an advocate and a consultant sitting on the other side of the table, it's very emotional for these parents. They're sitting through meetings, they're talking about their child, whether it's their first IEP meeting or their 20th. And there's just no possible way when you're sitting there with 7 or 8 people across the table talking about one of the most valued things in your life that you can possibly remember what is said. And if you don't understand something, you can ask, but a lot of parents they forget before it even starts again. So the opportunity to record these meetings, go back, look at them, listen to them, sorry, you're not going to look at recording, listen to them and revisit these issues, I think is vitally important. So I'm a parent, I'm a grandparent, I'm a former teacher, I'm a former administrator, I'm a consultant, and I'm an advocate for children with special needs, and I fully support this. Thank you so much.
Okay, So she did a great job, and I want to show you. I'm going to forward up to another person who was also in support. She finished up her testimony, and then here's what will happen. The committee members can ask each witness any questions that they want, and they'll speak into the microphone and they'll say, "To inquire, please." And then the chair of the committee gives them permission to ask you the question. And I want you to listen to how these questions kind of sound, the type of things that they might ask. And here's just a good exchange of those types of questions.
Thank you. Questions? Representative Stacy.
You may be able to answer this, or maybe some of my committee members that can answer this. This actually is the first one of these IEPs that I've looked at. So my question is this a pretty much a standard form that all school districts would? I know IEPs are standard, but this presentation, would I expect to see this in St. Louis and Kansas City and Branson or wherever I was, a similar kind of presentation?
Yes, for the most part. So Missouri DESE will put out kind of what they recommend. Schools are allowed to revise it, but it still has to have every single one of those components. So they're not allowed to take out sections. But so in essence, when you pick up an IEP, you'll be able to find the section that you're looking for, no matter what other district you're in.
Okay, so I could expect this anywhere in the state, this kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Representative O'Donnell,
To inquire.
proceed.
I'm looking at your recording by state summary, and you've got this broken out by one party consent, two party consent. I guess maybe to help with some of the resistance that we're hearing, obviously the parent recording would be the one party. Are there any states that have it that not necessarily consent, where the school district would have to allow it? That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to have them allow it, but at least so that they know that it isn't being recorded clandestinely, or somebody's looking for a stump the chump moment in a recording. Just for, are any states structured like that, where it's like 1.5 as opposed to 1 or 2?
So you're saying that they say that yes, you can record, or you're
No,
saying
not permission necessarily from the school district, but
where they want to do it?
really letting them know that you are recording is notification.
Yes.
Thank you.
They have different notification requirements because they like to be prepared. In most schools, when someone's recording, they are going to record also just to protect themselves, which I fully recommend. But in terms of, I think Leader Grant someone testified who worked at a district where it was just common practice that they recorded everything, and it was just their policy, and that's kind of how they protected. So I think you'll hear from some people that worked in districts that did that. So and that's up to the school. That's something that would help.
Super. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions? Thank you. Anyone else in opposition? No.
Okay, well, I hope that gives you a little bit of an overview of how to set up your testimony. It doesn't have to be anything long or fancy. It can be very quick. Introduce yourself, give your background, say you're in support of, say why, give a quick summary, and then be prepared to answer some questions. And thank you so much for supporting these bills. We really appreciate it, and we can't do it without you. Thank you.